We are live!
Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie Show, sponsored by the Beacon Tap Signature Transportation Group and Mom and Dad Water, along with Cut Shot. We have a fill-in tonight for Cousin Donnie, much more handsome individual. His name is Matty Dozen. Matty Dozen, how are you, sir?
Hey, James. Good to see you, buddy. I'm doing great. We're getting closer and closer to the 2026 season. Yep. We had a little teaser weather over the weekend and Monday, and then the bottom is falling out here, so we're gonna have to wait a few more weeks for that good stuff to come back.
Yeah, but it was nice to have a couple days of warm weather, though, wasn't it? Felt like people were just in a better mood. I mean, everything that was going on out there it was so much better.
Yeah, Monday especially, we had baseball practice. Our practice season started last Monday, the Monday before, and getting outside, it was 70 degrees at 3:30 in the afternoon. There was no wind and bright sunshine, and
sure.
I could have stayed out there for 4 or 5 hours in practice.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that, and I think. Sorry, I got to plug my computer in here for a second, but.
Yeah, no, and then we got the Dome League starting here in a couple of weeks, thanks to Frankie Jekyll, taking care of the Dome arrangements again for the second year. So that'll be exciting. We get out and it'll lead us right into the regular season. So I know you're going to be playing with me. Excited to have you as always. I know I always enjoy having you on our team because you definitely, when you come ready to play, and that's all I ask as a guy that runs a team.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that for sure. But one thing I had to ask you is, what is the new update on your tournament as we get into some updates before we bring on Mr. Tommy LeVar from Impact? But what's the update on your tournament? What's that looking like?
It's going to be in Berwyn. So I know that made a lot of people happy, and including yourself. That's been pretty much your home field from where you grew up.
Yep.
And, it's a great venue. I think Berwyn's a great venue for softball. It's just, that's what I grew up on and playing in the parks, and that's got a really great park feel.
Yeah.
So it'll be at Berwyn, 25th of April, one day, of course. We've got 14 teams right now, so we're looking for 2 more teams. $200 entry fee. It's single limb with a consolation bracket, and a little twist with a consolation bracket. It's going to be a 1-pitch game. So every batter's going to start with the 3-2 count. So something different, make things go, move along and quicker. Yeah, so we're out of there. So we're out of there by 6 o'clock. We want on a Saturday, let the guys get to the bars, to their sponsor. Obviously it all depends on the weather. We haven't had the best of luck. So I took my name off and Guaranteed Rates name off the tournament. Hopefully that'll change things. It's just SSA tournament, and we'll see if that helps.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to do anything, but I hope it does. I mean, I hope that you're able to get the tournament in, because I know you work hard to put that thing together. But overall, I mean, I have a lot of fun, exciting news I want to share tonight, because we have the Dana Strong 8th annual tournament this year. As you well know, we pick a new family every single year. Obviously a family that's either dealing with some type of form of cancer in the family, that is obviously in need or just where we want to give back. And the people that we picked, I've known them for a long time. They used to hang out in my bar when they were younger and at Magoo's in Bedford Park. She's been at the tournament every single year for the last 7 years. So I think she missed 1 year, which was the first year of the tournament. They're just the nicest people in the world. They just recently, they have two daughters. And I want to share that the family we're picking this year for the Dana Strong tournament is Angela and Corey McCracken, the McCracken family. Their daughter, who I'm pulling up here on the screen, Blakely, she was just unfortunately diagnosed with some type of form of leukemia, and she is battling that, and hopefully will have 100% type of recovery is what we're praying for. Her sister, Charlotte, who unfortunately did not get a picture, but her sister, Charlotte, also has the Rett disease or Rett syndrome, as they call it. So as you can imagine, it's a very tough family, both mom and dad dealing with a ton, with two daughters, both on one's, the girl on the screen, Charlotte, she was only one. I'm sorry, Blakely, who was on the stream, was only one. Charlotte's 2.5. So they got their hands full. And I couldn't be more proud to announce this family as this year's family for the Dana Strong tournament. That tournament, it will always be the same. It's always this Saturday, directly before Labor Day weekend, as we all know. Labor Day weekend this year falls, I believe, Labor Day's on the 7th. So this tournament this year, the Dana Strong, will be August 29th. That'll be held at Wentworth Park, as it always is, at 58th and Narragansett, or 5625 West Narragansett Avenue. So it's something that, Maddie, we put a lot of effort into. There's a lot of the family, Dana Strong's whole family, the whole entourage they bring out. They put a ton of work into that as well, as you know. So I just wanted to get that out there, that McCracken family is the family that we're picking for the 2026 year, and I couldn't be more happy for them. So your thoughts?
It's both very sad, of course, but very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. What you do, I know, is very heartfelt, and I appreciate and commend you for your work, and Jen and all the people that come out every year to help run this tournament. Such a great cause, and I know that the people that you've helped in the past really appreciate your efforts. It's just you hate to see little children, suffer with such a terrible disease.
Right.
But it's also great to see people that come together for a cause. And I hope that if you haven't experienced this tournament, please make an effort to, if you can't get out there to watch and support physically, contact Jimmy over the next several months to make a donation, large or small. Every little bit helps. But it always is it's a great day. It's a great day of softball. It's a great day for the softball players to play with maybe some guys they don't normally play with throughout the year. You got a lot of throw together teams, which is always great. It's always a great part of softball when you play with guys that you compete against all year and you play in a tournament with them. Yeah, but you've got all kinds of prizes out there too, and guys and gals alike have a great time. So thanks for doing that, Jimmy. I know that you're kind of like me. Softball's been great to us, and we want to give back to the sport that provided us with so much fun. And if we could help a family, even better. So I look forward to that every year.
Yeah, that's you kind of hit it on the head, right? The reason why we started the show, the reason why we're doing a lot of the things that we do out in the industry of just the world of softball, as we call it, is because it's like you want to give back to the game, right? I met a lot of amazing people through the game of softball because of softball. Maybe not at a softball field, but somebody who knows somebody, and this person, that person, all connected somehow through the game of 16 in softball. So it's been awesome so far. I know I probably only got a couple more years left of playing, but either way, I'm going to enjoy them as much as I can the rest of the way. And this is something that I love to do every single year. I love seeing just the Dana Strongs, their whole family are really passionate about it. And they honestly they do a lot of work. They do. They get a lot of the fundraising. They do a lot of stuff too behind the scenes. My job is to get the teams out there, get the people out there, promote it. So it's really is fun. And, well, congratulations to the McCracken family. I couldn't have picked a better family. So that's all I have to say, really. So, but thank you for that.
Yeah. Along those lines, Jimmy, before we get started, I don't want it to slip my mind, but a good friend of ours, great friend of softball, a real competitor out there, Lou Rossi, had a big major scare yesterday or 2 days ago in the Dome on Monday night. I think everybody has either played with or against Lou. There isn't a park around Chicagoland where Lou hasn't competed in. Well, he had a major heart attack at the Dome in Rosemont, and thankfully he's doing well. The ambulance came, made it to the hospital, had a couple stents put in, and it's been released. So it was a very scary moment. It's a good thing he was around people when this happened, and got the necessary medical treatment very quickly. So we wish Lou all our best. I'm sure we'll see him out on the softball field. Nothing's going to keep him away. I know he's feeling pretty good. And also Bobby Plesniak passed away about a week and a half ago. And Bobby, ran numerous teams for many years. Loved the game of softball. A lot of people got their start with Bobby. And Bobby was always a nice gentleman. Whenever I saw him, a kind man. So our sympathy goes out to Bobby's family.
Yeah, both Bobby and Lou Ross. I mean, I saw on Facebook the other day. I was shocked when I read that. If somebody, I think the Hall of Fame or somebody posted something about it. I didn't know anything of it till the next morning when I saw the post. So obviously it happened in the 50 and over league over in the Dome. But from what I heard, it's thank God he was at the field. And thank God they were able to get him in the ambulance and get him to the hospital quickly. So, from what I heard, he's doing great, and that's all you can really ask for. I mean, there's nothing, that's incredible. And I know you had a little scare of yourself, so exactly how
modern.
feel.
Yeah, modern medicine's, it's amazing. When it happened to me in July, I had my stent put in, and 2 days later, I felt like nothing had ever happened. So hopefully Lou could, quickly, get on his feet and, take it easy, Lou. If you're watching, take it easy. You're going to feel great, but you can't rush things. Take it easy. And then, sometime this summer, I'm sure you'll be back on the field. And then Nicky Visvardis also had a same thing. He had a couple blockages. Nicky's had some stents put in. Nicky, if there's a softball tournament or a league going on in Chicagoland, Nicky's umping. So, I know I saw Nicky afterwards. He's doing well. He's reffing high school basketball, and I'm sure we'll see him out this summer. So it's scary stuff. Thankfully, all three of us had the warning signs, went in and took care of that, and hopefully, that'll be the end of it. Yeah.
So that's enough for that heart attack stuff. Let's get off that. But let's move on. Before I bring on Tommy, I want to make an announcement. I know our boy, he starts every show that we do. We call him Staples. And he is running a tournament. Asked me to share it on the show. And I will gladly do that, as Staples is just, I've always got along with Staples. He's a good dude. He's always been great. He means well. Sometimes doesn't always come out the greatest, but we could say that about a lot of us. So, but he's running a spring fling April 18th at Newcastle Park. So 1-on-1 count, open roster, $325 a team. So if you guys are interested, is at Newcastle Park. That's like 70. It's like 81st and Newcastle under the power lines over there. So if you want to be able to get a hold of the tournament, get a hold of Tim or Dave, and they'll be able to get you in and get your team set up. So once again, that's April 18th. Maddie, when is your tournament? Your tournament's the week after, isn't it?
Correct. 25th. Yeah, Saturday the 25th.
Yep. So we'll have back-to-back tournaments, 18th and the 25th. Yours is more of the major teams and some of those things, where Dave's is more of the kind of Southside teams, put together teams, which is always a fun time. Both tournaments are always great. So no problem, Dave. Staples says thanks, Uncle Jimmy. So no problem at all. But tonight, I know, Matt, you were thrown on short notice because Donnie unfortunately had a hangnail and he had to cancel tonight. So, but our guest is Mr. Tommy LeVar tonight. He is from Impact. What do you know before we bring on Tom about Impact? Do you know anything about Impact off the top of your head?
Well, I know that whenever it seems like Impact, the team is going to die, Tommy, brings it back, and usually brings it back stronger. They've really been, and I'm going to talk to Tommy about this. They've really been a breeding ground, and it brought up some really great players throughout the years. And it's difficult when you've got young players that come up, and if you aren't already a top 5 team, more than likely you're going to lose these players to other teams. It's just a fact. It's just kind of how softball works. And Tommy's had some really, really, good players over the years that have gone on to go on to other teams, some of the top teams. But
sure.
Looks like this year they're going to be really talented. Last year they played well at the end of the year. Took them a while to gel, it seemed, but they played very well at the end of the year. And, they've made some really good pickups. With March breaking up, they picked up a couple players there. I'll let Tommy talk about that, so I won't get into that. But I know they're going to be tough this year. They're going to be a tough out.
I've got a couple good questions lined up for him, so hopefully you do as well. But
they're always scrappy.
Yeah, let's get our boy Tommy on. Let's just see here. What's up, Mr. LeVar? How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie Show, sponsored by obviously the Beacon Tap, Signature Transportation Group, Cut Shot. So what's new in your world, Tom? I know you and I go way back, but what's new, my man?
Nothing. I'm getting ready for softball.
Getting ready for softball. So obviously the reason why we have on the show tonight, we're talking about Impact. I know Impact early on in the offseason here was kind of the name that everyone was talking about, right? Everyone's going to Impact, things going crazy. Tell us who you ended up picking up. Who are the new pickups on the team? Give us a little background about each guy, and let us know what you think.
We picked up Julian Gutierrez from Flash. Julian didn't have much of a choice. He works for me, so we're gonna help him out with work, and he's got to get 3 hits a game. We picked up Johnny and Nick from March. My shortstop, Cody, was adamant on adding them because they hit the ball, and we didn't score a bunch of runs last year. So we can catch the ball, but now we got to hit the ball to stay competitive. So we added them. I brought back Marco Koziel from Signature, a guy that played for me before. He left, found out the grass wasn't necessarily greener, and he's back. I think that's it. I have a 70-man roster, so it's hard to keep track of everyone.
So
yeah, you kind of have to have that big roster nowadays, Tom, because a lot of guys just can't commit to making it, to all the league games and all the tournaments. And I'm, kind of going that route as well, just making sure my roster is filled and making sure that I got 12 or 13 guys at every game. Can't go there. You can't enter a season with a 14-man roster these days.
It's unfortunate. When I first started with Impact, I think we had 18 guys on our roster. We had 18 guys at every game for about a 5-year stretch. No one missed. Everyone was always there. Now it's, my girlfriend wants to go see a movie, and they're not going to be there. So it's a hard to juggle with people's personal lives nowadays.
Yeah, we talk a lot about that on the show, about what people used to be like in the game of softball and kind of what it is now. So with your roster and what the people you picked up for this year, what is your goal what is the impact goal this year? What would you, to Tom, what would be an incredible year or a good year, a quality year for impact?
The expectation is to make it to Sunday in every tournament.
Okay.
We wanna be one of those Final Four teams and every Sunday. I think this is the one year where softball might be up for grabs. I don't know if there is necessarily a head and shoulders team that's better than everyone else. I think the landscape is pretty equal, more so than it ever has been, at least in the 17 years I've been a part of this. There's also not a lot of teams, so you know, we get hot, good things can happen. So I want to be in every tournament late on Sunday.
In the league,
You know what?
you guys, go ahead, Darrell. Go ahead, Maddie.
No, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, I was just going to say with your pickups, Tom, I think what's going to help you this year is you got some guys that could stretch the field. I think that was one of the things you were lacking the last couple of years. You had some good hitters on the team. You didn't have a lot of guys that were gap hitters, but I think that the guys you added this year are definitely gonna help you get guys in from first base on an outfield hit, because the outfield is gonna have to play a little bit deeper for some of these guys.
I think so too.
So you mentioned about pickups, but let's talk about one of the guys been on your roster, and that's Cody, the shortstop. He's been getting a lot more praise, a lot more prep over the last couple of years about his play and what he's been doing. Do you think Cody could take that next step this year, kind of thing, at short, and be one of the, call it, top 3 shortstop in softball?
I think he should be in the conversation right now. I think the only thing that holds him back is his consistency with the bat. He makes every single play. I've always had pretty good shortstops with every impact team we've had. When I started, I had Anthony Avila, who made every single play. Cody makes every single play. He makes it look easy. He's tall. He's long. He's very accurate with his throw. I need him to be a 3-hit game or 3 hits a game guy rather than 2. But I think he's in the conversation already. That's my personal opinion.
And your roster, obviously, with adding Julian, you add Nick, who's another guy who can hit the ball far, can stretch the field. What is that top of that lineup going to look like for Impact this year, off the top of your head as of now?
A lot of lefties.
If I could have a team, sure. if I could have a team full of lefties like the Wallace team from 15 years ago, I'd be ecstatic. But I'll have the top of my lineup will be Ryan Lynn Peastrup, who was our center fielder, who messed up his knee right before Forest Park, so we didn't have him at the end of the year. He's one of our better players. He played, I believe he played shortstop at UIC for college. My number 2 hitter will be Tommy Norton, my second baseman, who is a hitting machine and makes all his plays. 3, 4, 3 to 8, I couldn't tell you. I could tell you the first 2. Nick will be in there. Johnny will be in there. Cody will be in there somewhere. Dave Mueller, TC, Julian.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, what it sounds like to me is you guys are going to be much deeper this year, which is obviously a good thing when you play major teams. You're going to be able to stretch that lineup. What for Impact, when you look at the leagues, what leagues are you guys playing?
Melrose and Forest Park.
You are playing 2 leagues. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that, Maddie? He's playing 2 leagues.
I heard that.
Not Moneyline, though.
They're at least playing in a league, though.
Yeah, they are. They are playing in a league. I just want to give Maddie a little shit. So, Maddie, go ahead, Maddie.
Jimmy, you know me. If I could, I'd be out there 5 days a week. I just don't have the manpower, and it's as a guy that runs a team when you're scraping for guys, and the guys are up front with me. I have a lot of guys with young kids, and there's no possible way I can get a team to play in much like Flash now, playing in only one league.
Right.
So, that's there aren't that many, major or high A teams that are playing in 2 leagues. A lot of them are going to one.
No, you're right.
I like about Melrose, it's no knock on Forest Park. I just like the fact that you're going to have 2 games every night when you go to Melrose. And if you've got 14, 15 guys out there, you can get them all at bats. You can get everybody 2, 3 at bats. So that's why I like the format where we're playing doubleheaders.
Nice. No, yeah, for sure. What's your first question for Tommy?
Well, Tommy, Jimmy brought up Cody, and I've been a big Cody fan the last couple of years since he came onto the major scene. What I like about him is it sounds like and seems like that he's really stepped into that leadership role, and also help you with recruiting. You always want your best player to be a guy that attracts other players, and it seems like he's done a really good job for you there.
He's probably the reason we still have a team. When we lost some of our guys a couple years back to Signature, we had to scrape and claw to grab. I think we ended up having 13 or 14 guys. I think we had like 4 wins the whole year. But Cody kept everyone showing up to our games, and we grabbed whoever wanted to play. And the year wasn't great, but the next year we ended up picking up Tommy and Ryan and a couple other guys, and we became competitive. So,
and we had touched on this before, Jimmy and I, before you came on. I brought it up about how in the past you've lost players to some of the top 2 or 3 teams. How do you go about not taking that personally? It's happened to me as well, where you've got a guy that'll play with you for a couple of years. They kind of cultivate their game. They get to that point where they're ready to take the jump to be an elite player, and then all of a sudden, whammo, they hit you with, oh, I'm going to go play with so-and-so team that happens to be a little bit above where you're at. How do you not take that personally as a coach?
I mean, I do take it personally between me and you. I can get over it. It's softball. You get over it. It's, if they weren't having fun, I don't want them to be here. It's supposed to be fun. If it's not a good collection of guys, or you feel like it's a waste of an hour or 2 of your time away from your family, then you shouldn't be here. So when you put it into perspective, there's things that are more important than softball. And if softball's supposed to be your getaway from whatever stress or problems you have, and it's not helping, then then you got to do what's best for you. I mean, at the end of the day, I still have a good relationship with everyone. I don't have any enemies from them. I still love all of them. I wish they were still here, but they did what they wanted to do, or they wanted to play with certain people, and God bless.
Yeah, I mean, since you're on the topic, and it's probably one of the main reasons why Cousin Donnie didn't show up tonight. So I know that the entire infield from Signature used to play on Impact. So
yeah, we
could be the reason why Donnie did not show up tonight. What do you think? Is that true?
Or he, that or the St. Pat's connection. Maybe he didn't want me to show him up. I don't know. But yes, the third baseman, the short center, the second baseman. I don't even know if Matt Menizzi's at first. Danny Marston is also a guy that was with me. So a good collection of their guys were with me for some time.
I mean, so maybe we should rename Signature to what? Impact Signature?
Nah, we don't do that. We don't like double impact with any other name.
I was gonna say your teams usually has March Impact. There's always a couple things going on. So, but either way, all fun. My next question for you, actually, Tom, and it kind of gets into the softball world a little bit. Not so much about Impact, but you mentioned tournaments. You mentioned a lot of the things that the game holds right now. Tell me something on the tournament level that you would like to see in 2026.
I would like every team to show up, and I would like all their players to show up. We have a serious lack of commitment. I understand people have things going on, but for 4 weekends a year or 5, depending if, with nationals, find a way to have those weekends available. So, the tournaments can be as competitive as possible.
Right.
In a perfect world back in the day, you know, I'd be at a tournament till 11, 12 o'clock at night on a Sunday, if we were in the final game. Everyone was there. It's not like that anymore. From what I've started to what I see now, it's slowly dying. And I don't like that.
What? Why do you think that though?
Well, when I think we have 12 teams in Forest Park, we have how many in Melrose? 10?
8.
8. It's I mean, I can remember having to call Grace and beg to get in the Forest Park. I just I don't know if kids prefer playing in the park leagues. I don't know. Commitment's obviously different, so teams don't. In all reality, it's 2 days a week. You're asking
Right.
for 2 nights a week. You're going to play in the park leagues 2 nights a week. What's the difference? Would you want to be a big fish in a small pond, or?
Whoa! What the hell is going on here?
Oh boy!
Look who joins from the car, Tommy. Interrupts you, rude as usual. All right.
You would think it's
That's
his
okay.
show.
Tommy! Wow. You know what? Look at all
Keep
these.
your eyes on the
Maddie?
road.
Yeah. Hey,
I
we
get
were
pulled
just
over. We're dead.
we were
Hi,
just
Donnie.
talking about. We were literally just talking about how you stole all the players from Impact and went to Signature, and now
Hey,
we're going to change
hey.
your team name.
Tommy got one back though.
I did. I got Marco. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
If you show up on time, we actually talked about that.
I'm sure.
So,
Well-
but Tom, please finish. As now Cousin Donnie is in the car, so we get to ride with Cousin Donnie now.
Hey,
I don't
Tom,
know.
I want to ask. I want to ask you. Obviously, a lot like me. You grew up around the game. Family affair for you. Did you know at a really young age that after if you got done playing baseball, you were going to jump into the softball scene?
No, actually. I got a random call. I think I was a sophomore in high school, and it was over the summer, and a couple guys were going to go play softball at Indian Road, and they needed a guy. And I used to go watch my dad play growing up, and then my mom told me couldn't play anymore, and that was my experience at softball. So I think when I was 16, I got to run around Indian Road with some kids I went to high school with, and it was fun. And I think by the time we were 18, we grabbed a bunch of guys from St. Pat's, and we got our butts kicked for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years at Indian Road. And then some of us figured it out and we started playing. So,
Donnie, fix your camera there, my man.
Well, one of
I'm
St.
driving.
Pat's very own will be coaching in the semifinals on Friday night. Gene Highcamp,
I love Gene.
great guy,
Couple-
great guy. What a game that's going to
Couple
be.
Shamrocks on
DePaul
this call.
and Bennett in the Final Four for 4A. Can't
Really?
wait.
Gene's a great guy. Gene's a great guy.
Who is the best? Is Bennett still ranked number 1?
Bennett's 1, DePaul's 2, and then the other side of the bracket is York and Marist. So 3 out of the 4 are Catholic schools. So
Wow.
it'll be a interesting weekend down in Champaign.
I bet. Well,
Yeah, we're lucky to have Tom. We're lucky to have Gene. I know, Gene's beloved by a lot of guys that are in the softball world. Guys that had him at St. Pat's. We're lucky to have him now at Bennett.
Yeah.
So, Donnie, since you joined so late, do you have a question for Mr. LeVar?
First thing, how was darts yesterday?
We won 5-4, but I didn't get home till 12:30, so it wasn't the greatest. Should end by about 11.
Okay, all right. I'm a St. Pat's Shamrock myself. A lot of respect for Gene Highcamp and now Coach Bailey. Tommy, one thing I wanted to ask you is about some of the Northside parks, and if you see a decline in those parks similar to what we're kind of seeing potentially at the major level with teams only
Oh, looks
playing
like we
one league
lost.
and things like that. Do you see any similar the Northside parks not having the participation?
Well, what I can tell you
Okay.
is I only get to play on Sundays at Brooks Park, and it might as well be a major league minus 2 teams. So everyone I see during the week is playing on Sunday there. I don't get out due to my 2 little kids, their schedule, and then obviously whatever games Impact has. So I don't know anything about the park leagues. I can remember Hamlin Park being filled with teams. I don't know if it's like that anymore. I would doubt it. Indian Road on Friday night used to be the night to play, and now I guess it's switched to Thursday. And some guys that play
Yep.
for me play there on Thursdays, but we try to make sure we only play on Tuesdays, and the only time they can skip Indian Road is if we have a tournament. So I'm not familiar with the other leagues because I don't get to play as much as I'd like.
I play at Olympia on
one of the
Fridays.
guys I want to bring up on. Go ahead, Donnie. You play at Olympia on Fridays and what?
I play Olympia on Fridays with a couple guys from the north side, and that park always seems to have a pretty good attendance. Indian Road is a really, really fun place to play because it's, one field, one diamond. Everybody goes and watches on that one diamond. One of my favorite guys is on my team, Liam Mulcrone. Tommy, you might know Liam Mulcrone pretty well. He's a legend in that park.
Big Liam fan.
Of course.
Liam's a legend everywhere.
Yeah, he is. Liam is a great human being.
He is.
But yeah, just talking about the north side parks and things like that. They haven't seemed to lose any of their spunk or things like that, which is really great to see. But yeah, I just wanted your perspective as a coach going out there and watching. Are you scouting at all when you go play with those fields for new guys?
No, the players do that. I leave that up to Cody. I leave it up to Matt Eberhardt. Those guys.
So
Gotcha.
Tommy, let me ask you this, Tommy. Let's get back on the impact train. You have a guy on your team, Josh Burrito. I feel like he plays every position on your team. He's kind of an underrated player in the game, I feel. He's been a staple of your team for a while. I know when you guys have kind of even struggled over the last couple of years, he's stuck with you and he's been a part of your team and you've had a lot of change. So I give him a ton of credit. I know that it seems like in the last couple of years he's become a little better hitter. And I know he does, defensively, he's definitely above average wherever you put him, it seems like. So talk to me a little bit about Burrito and kind of what he means to your team.
Well, Burrito's probably one of the most loyal guys I've ever met. This is his second time with me. So I think we've been together. We've got to be, I think he's been with me it was 2 years prior with Impact. And now I think this is his 4th year back with me. The only issue with Burrito is he's got so much on his plate. He coaches his kid. Taco, Burrito, Chiquito. We have a bunch of different names for his son. Hunter plays a lot of sports. So he coaches him. I think Hunter plays soccer. I know Hunter plays football. Hunter plays baseball. Hunter plays basketball. And Josh is a good dad. He's a part of all of it, and he coaches his kids. So we don't see him as much as we used to. Burrito used to be a kid that I would know that, we used to say it about Tommy Lentine Sr. He'd play 5 games in a night. He'd find a way to play five different parts in one night. I don't know how he does it with his schedule. We see he's got better commitment than a lot of guys, and he's got so much more on his plate. He's also a great guy, and he can play literally every single position.
Right.
And he does hit. He's a cutter now. He cuts the ball over the third baseman's head.
Right. No, yeah, he's got some power, some things like that. I pulled up a comment on the screen. This comment comes from our boy Robbie Garzano. He says, Burrito, a.k.a. the worst layup maker in basketball history. So I'm assuming there's got to be a story behind that, Tommy. Do you know what Robbie's talking about?
No, I've never seen Burrito hoop.
Okay.
He never came to those Sunday leagues or during the winter when we played. I have no idea.
Okay.
All I know is he's one of those guys that I would say, about maybe 10 years ago, had a real commitment to his fitness, and ever since kept all the weight off and has remained in fantastic shape. And I think it's definitely helped his softball career. I know that it definitely helped him go back to the outfield. But he said he used to eat terribly, had a terrible diet, and really turned around his fitness program.
No,
he's in great shape. I know that. I know he still wants to play in the outfield, but I'm not going to put him in the outfield this year. He's too old.
When you have 9 guys and 10 guys, remember you said that I'm going to be yelling across the field Why is Burrito in the outfield?
No, we're never going to have 9 or 10. We have a 70-man roster. If that's the case, I'll go to the outfield for him.
A 70-man roster. Maddie, go ahead with your next question.
Well, we talked about some of the top players in your team, guys that are going to be hitting up at the top of the order. Why don't you give us a name or two of maybe some other guys, some unsung guys, some guys that maybe not everybody in the softball world is familiar with, guys that you think are up and comers?
I wouldn't say he's an up and comer. My short center, Dave Mueller. When I played softball, I always played short center, so I have a thing for short centers. I always tend to have a good one, whether it was Danny Villarreal or Rob Rodriguez, Brian Haas. Dave Mueller is fantastic. He makes every single play. He's got an absolute rifle for an arm. I feel bad for Matt or anyone that has to play first on this team because of how hard he throws. He's fantastic. As long as he goes up there with a game plan with stick, he's very consistent. And the other guy would be TC. Both of these guys I got from Pete DeGioia from Players Inc. Tom Coletti, just one of the strongest kids I've ever seen. And he's just fantastic. Last year was his first year playing third base. And he passed with flying colors. You know, we played him at second. We played him at short center. But he's going to stick at third just because I like the big left side of the infield.
I know Tommy Corletti. He comments or comes on the show and makes some comments every now and then or on our posts and things like that. So, but he's a big young kid, isn't he, Tom?
Yeah, I don't think he's young, quite young. I thought he might be. I think he's got to be close to 30. Yeah, well, I'll be 41 next week, so everyone is young. He's a big, strong kid though. Just absolutely hits the ball. I'm glad I never took a line drive from him at up the middle or anywhere on the infield because he'd break your finger.
No, for sure. Maddie, do you have any other questions for Tommy?
No, I think I just was hoping to get Tommy's take on the new guys coming in. I wanted to definitely talk about Cody because I've always been a big fan of him on and off the field, especially. Very respectful young man. He'll never big time you. Always takes the time to come and talk to you. And then I wanted to get Tommy's take on some of these guys that that just kind of go overlooked sometimes by the rest of the softball world. Yep. And I think he hit on all that. And Tom, I just want to commend you for always being a supporter of softball, a classy guy on and off. And, I wish you the best of luck. I love competing against your teams. You guys always come to play. That you guys are always in the game. Your guys don't signify. They don't, that you guys play the game the right way. And I'm sure it's a reflection of the leadership of your team.
So our boy, before I get to my last question, our boy JP says, is Johnny McIlvain going to dabble with right field this season for Impact? So, Maddie, I guess there's a joke out there that you don't like the word dabble. Is that true?
That's stupid. It's a dumb word.
I gotcha. Understand.
It's a stupid.
I think he's in right field right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I get to move him around though because he's another guy. He's like a burrito. He can play every single position. So.
Right. Yep. And next week, we'll be doing our top 10 utility list. We were going to do it tonight, but unfortunately, Cousin Donnie, as you could tell, is running a little bit late with his work schedule. So, but Tommy, this is the last question before I hand it over to you, and then usually you have a bunch of questions for us. But my last question for you is the question I ask every guest on the show. I love to hear feedback, new ideas, new things. So even if it's been said before, that's fine. We usually get in more in-depth conversation about whatever that is. The question is obviously if in the game today, if you were to bring something in or change something about the game to make it better, what would it be?
I would like teams to stay together longer. I would like the younger players not to jump to bigger teams. I look at, for instance, I'll give you an example of a team like the Lemons that from way back when, where you had Bruce and you had Rob and you had Angelo and you had all these guys that Ponch put together, and they tried to keep it for as long as possible. Then Rob ends up leaving. Then Angelo and Noach end up coming, or Angelo and Bruce come to Impact. And before you know it, that team's no more. But if that team would have stuck together, that's a team you're going to talk about right now being one of those top teams. I wish the younger teams would stick together. I wish some of the top teams wouldn't poach from other teams. Some of the higher ranked teams don't necessarily have to raise any money, and it's just you come and play. And unfortunately, with some of these smaller teams, you got to fundraise. When we played with Stan, everything was taken care of, and it was very easy to get guys. Now, my wife has told me that I cannot invest in any people other than my children. So it involves raising money and trying to find friends who own companies to sponsor softball, and some of them aren't softball guys, so they don't care. So it's hard to get money. Softball isn't cheap. So I'd really like teams to stay together with their buddies and go through the motions and get better. And I think the game will grow that way. We'd have a lot more than 8 and 12 teams in the two major leagues if that was the case.
Yeah, no. I mean, you kind of hit it on the head a little bit, right? It's, that's, I think has been always a thing in the past, is trying to keep the young teams together as they grow. It's a lot harder said, right? Or a lot harder to do than really said. So it's kind of, it's tough, because when there's a player that stands out on your list or your team, they're usually approached or grabbed by a bigger or major team.
Sure.
Especially, not to say that you guys are not, because I think going into this year, you guys are probably a top 10, top 7 team in softball. With your roster, there's no reason why you can't. You're not in that top 7, in my opinion, right?
Sure.
So, with the team, and it might take you guys a little bit to gel, but I believe most of your guys all have either played together or have known each other on some type of level outside of softball as well. So that does help. Julian might be the only oddball that really doesn't kind of talk to anyone on the squad, but he does work with you, so that does make a difference, right? So, overall, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, with Impact, I don't have any other questions for you. I do know that you guys, I believe, you are playing in my tournament. I believe you told me you guys were going to play, and you guys are in. So I don't have the list in front of me, but I believe that, which I'm excited to have you guys. It's going to be a fun day. As I announced last week, Jim Corneliuson's going to be out there singing the national anthem. We're going to have the mayor of Berwyn out there on the 27th. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff going on in Berwyn. So Berwyn seems to be the hot park this year. Maddie's running his tournament there. The North-South is there. Our Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie Show tournament's there. So it seems to be the hot park this summer, and I think Maddie hit it on the head. It's a great kind of just softball park, and I think that's why everyone loves it so much. But, Tommy, this is the part of the show that I hand it over to you, the guest. I know Donnie's not here, but Donnie technically is here. He's driving. So if you have a question for myself or Maddie, Donnie actually just hopped off. But if you have a question for me or Maddie, please shoot away. We'd like to have a couple questions for us to get in some topics about what you're looking at. So please.
Oh, that's a good question. I thought I was just going to do talking. I didn't know I have to do any thinking. Tell me about your tournament. I'm curious about it. I told you that we would come and play in your tournament, Jimmy. What is the significance of your tournament? I know I don't know anything about it. You asked and said, would we play? Some of the better teams are playing. If they're playing, we want to play. What is going to make your tournament different than the other ones?
Yeah, so right out of the gate, we're playing. It's going to be a Friday night and Saturday, so it's only a 2-day event. My goal was to hopefully play more than 2 games for every team. My goal was also to drive some teams from outside of the Illinois state line to come play. Obviously, offering them a 4-game guarantee is going to allow that. Right now, I have 5 teams from out of state that have told me they're coming and that they're committed. So that was one of my goals. I'm really trying to get psychopaths. I know they're probably not going to come, but I was hoping to get somebody of that nature that plays in Yuma to show up. That's okay. This is the first year doing it, so I wasn't too upset by none of them making it. Hopefully in the years to come they will. But Friday night's going to be a round robin. So basically you're going to have a pool play. You're going to be there's going to be 5 pools. Each team that wins, whoever wins that pool will get their money back. So for example, if it's $450 or $400 and something to play in the tournament, yes, Greg, the tournament is June 26th and 27th. To play in the tournament, it's $400 or $500, $450. Off the top of my head, I wrote it down. I don't know what it is now, but either way, you play in that, and if you win your pool, you get your money back. So then you would play Saturday absolutely free. And the way Saturday works is that every game in the bracket all the way through is money.
Okay.
So if, for example, if you're in the first round game and you beat 45s, you win X amount of dollars, you go to the next game. The next game's more money. Then the next game's more money. Then the next game's more money. And if you win the tournament, you're going to get, maybe $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, depending on what that number is going to be in prize money.
Okay.
So that's how I'm basing it. So right now I actually have it right in front of me. So right now I have 10 sponsors for the tournament. I have, I'm not going to announce them all yet because I haven't finalized 2 of them, but they've given me verbally. I can announce that I just signed Paisan's Pizza. Paisans will be joining us. They'll be doing all the beer. They will be doing all the food at the park, and they're also going to be sponsoring part of the tournament as well. So I wanted to mention that. Wilkins Food Distribution just gave me the thumbs up. They're going to also sponsor. Matter of fact, they already paid me for their sponsor donation. Euclid Beverage, another one who's already paid. Excel Entertainment, another one. Buzz, I talked to Nick from Moneyline. He reached out. They're going to sponsor, be a part of our tournament. Mickey Balestri, his law firm, is also going to be a sponsor in the tournament. Marzalek Law Services, another one who's going to be a sponsor, so thank you. And honestly, the next couple I don't really want to say yet because I want to get the exact dollar amount that they're going to do because I think they might do some bigger things. But for the most part, there's a sponsorship form for the tournament. It's either $500, $1,000, or $1,500. Oh, Jake Olson is another one who reached out and said he's going to also put in donates for the tournament. So right now, it looks like expenses will be listed out, obviously probably before, once I collect and guarantee all the money, I'll have the expenses listed out of what everything costs. So we'll know exactly what the prize money will be based on all the sponsorships and everything that goes into it. The people working the field will be obviously employees of Paisans. So they'll be working the tents and those type of things. We are gonna, as of now, I have not booked it, but I'm trying to get a dunk tank. So if we do get a dunk tank, I'm gonna have to have some type of volunteer, hopefully be able to stand over there, or somebody that I could pay to stand there to do the dunk tank. Any money we raise in the dunk tank, we're hopefully gonna have an individual from each team nominated from their team captain. They will get in the dunk tank. Your team will be able to throw balls. All the money you raise goes to a certain charity of our picking in the softball community. So as time gets closer, we're going to put that on the page. What you do on Friday night for the tournament on Saturday is what seeds you. So if you go 2-2 in pool play, you might be the 3 seed in your pool, and you're going to play maybe another 2 or 3 seed in the bracket from another pool on Saturday. Saturday, single elimination. Every game's 1-on-1 count. I want to have basically quick, fast. I want action all the time. You know, sometimes those 0-0, those games just get boring, right? Everyone's taking a pitch, takes longer. I want action, you know. So I'm going to be reaching out to the girls' side tomorrow. I just got all their phone numbers. Christine has been a huge help with that. She sent me all the names, contact information, all that good stuff. So I'm going to have a girls' tournament, hopefully on the B field on Saturday. If I can get 5 teams, that's my goal. If I get 4, I'm going to do it. If I get 3, I'm not. So we'll see how that goes. But, you know, for the women, I want them out there, and I'm bringing out Jim Corneliuson. If we do have the women's tournament, he will sing the national anthem before the first game of that women's tournament. On the field, we're bringing a fire truck, we're raising a flag, we're doing all that. Steve Cashel will be announcing the championship game with myself, Donnie, or Will Russ, if Will's out there that day. So I mean, we've got a lot of stuff going on. You know, I've talked to a lot of the teams. I mean, verbally, they've all told me most of them are in, except for Whale. I know Maddie's team. I know Maddie won't be there because he's running his team out in Schaumburg, but the rest of the players are saying that they want to play. So right now I have them as a 50-50, but everybody else that I have spoke to is pretty much in. No one has told me that they're out. You know, Dynasty, I have not heard back from Dynasty yet, but I heard through the grapevine with Richie and some of the guys that more than likely they might play. Just depends on if they have bodies or not. And the same thing with Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame's either going to play the North-South tournament or they're going to play our tournament, depending on how many more guys they have. So if they have more guys for the North-South, they're going to play North-South. If they have more guys for my tournament at the end of the month, they're going to play our tournament at the end of the month. So I don't know. Is that enough background on kind of everything that's going on?
I think so. It's adequate.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, if anyone's interested in sponsoring, I do have a sponsor format. I'm going to have banners made. There's going to be sponsors on all the banners. You know, everything that we do, we're going to be announcing the sponsors on this show as time gets closer. So we're going to give each background of what each company does on the show, talk a little bit about what they do for business, and thank them for sponsoring the tournament. That's all part of the sponsorship of what we do from a marketing aspect. And then, of course, the day of the tournament, you know, I'm hoping that some of these corporations and some of these individuals come out to the tournament to watch. So it's, you know, obviously it's a donation, right? I mean, that's pretty much what it is. You know, if you get any business back out of return, fantastic. But most of these people I work with on a yearly basis. And so I give most of them quite a bit of money, right, over the course of the year. And others are just, you know, friends of mine or people that own businesses, kind of to what you said. So if anyone out there is interested, you know, I haven't even asked really Cut Shot, Signature, the people who sponsor our show yet. Beacon Tap, I haven't asked any of them yet. So, I mean, could they possibly pony up and donate some more for the tournament? Sure. But as of now, right this second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 sponsors at $500, and I have 3 sponsors at $1,000. So that's what I have right now. And I'm not counting Papa Magoo's, I'm not counting Beacon Tap, I'm not counting Signature Transportation, and I'm not counting Cut Shot. So they obviously sponsor the show. If those guys want to sponsor towards the tournament, they're more than willing to. But I'm not gonna ask them to kind of do dual sponsorship unless they really want to. So, so that's pretty much it. Great question, though. Thank you.
Maddie, tell me about your tournament. You said something about a 1 pitch.
That's going to be the consolation bracket. So 2-game guarantee. If you lose your first game, you go into the consolation bracket. There'll be 8 teams, and it's just going to be every at bat starts with 3 and 2. Okay. So we're going to move things along, something different, make it a little faster, and see how it goes. 35, 40-minute games. Guys still get their at bats. We'll see. we'll see. I don't know if I can't. I've never played in one. I know it's been done before, but we'll see how it translates to the 16-inch game here.
I'll tell you this: they do it in the dome by me on with co-ed with 14-inch. I love it. Honestly, innings are quick, speed's quick, it's action constantly. Games are 30 minutes. It is. It's really cool. It is. I mean, for the dome setting, it's really cool. Outside, I mean, I'm. Hey, let's try it, right? If it works, it works. I mean, you're not going to know anything until we try stuff. I'm all about change. I'm all about making the game better. So, Maddie, I'm super pumped that you're doing that. I think it is. I think it's really cool. I do, and I think the consolation people will stay to play the one pitch. I really do. You know,
and we are gonna have some food out there. So I believe Harlow's is gonna do the food for us out there. So
perfect.
Should be a nice night. We just need Mother Nature to cooperate one time. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we got this one in.
Yep.
I actually have a question for both of you. This is while attending the Forest Park meeting. They have an open roster policy. There are a few teams, one in particular, that isn't taking part in any league, but is going to play in some of the tournaments. What are your thoughts on that? How does that make the game better, or how do you allow, excuse me, how do you allow a team, even though they won Forest Park, no gloves, to go and play in tournaments, but they don't have to go to any league games or be a part of any leagues? What are your thoughts on that?
You want to go
me to
first,
go?
Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Well, I don't think they're not the only team doing it this year. 30-38s ain't playing any major ball either. So 30-38.
So is it just them two? Is it just those two teams, or is there anyone else?
Well, here I got the teams in front of me. I don't know. What is Future playing in?
I think they're in Melrose.
Okay. Dynasty's in Melrose. We know Signature, Impact, Moneyline, Fat Kids, BTA, Iron, Flash, High Y. Obviously, Circus not playing in the league. Farrell's is. Wales playing in Forest Park. 30-38s not playing in a league. All Iowa teams there. Menace is considered that borderline A major still. I'm assuming, are they playing the A League at Forest Park?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because Menace is not in. I don't think they're in Forest Park, and they're not in. They
I'd
got
have
to
to think that
the A League.
they got to be playing either the A League in Melrose or the A League in Forest Park.
All right. So to your question, there's two teams technically not playing a major league. 30-38s is only playing in Hamlin, I believe, on Thursdays. So the Circus, 30-38s being the only teams. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be good for the game. I mean, where you're going to have Julian Russell, you're going to have probably, well, I don't know. I mean, Circus guys don't show up for Circus. Why would they show up for another team, though? That's the only thing that, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't show up for Circus last year in the league. You think they're going to show up for somebody else? I mean, there might be one or two guys that do it, but, I mean, I don't see.
So, Tommy, are you saying that those guys can actually come and play on any team in the Forest Park League? Is that
Yes.
what you're getting at? That doesn't make that part doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know why a player on those teams would go and play with another team and compete against teams that they're going to be competing against in the tournaments. That doesn't make any sense to me. I would not do that if I was a player on either team. In terms of, does it make it better? Does it make it worse? Honestly, it doesn't bother me that neither team is playing in a league. I'd never worried about who was on a team that I was playing. I always wanted to play against the best players, and Circus has a bunch of guys that are considered some of the top players in the game. So when we play them in a tournament, you know, it's good competition. Their priorities are different. You know, things are changing now, and what can you do? You can't complain. I don't think people should complain about it. Yeah. What's the old saying? It is what it is. And, you know, a lot of these guys have kids that play high level travel sports, and they can't commit. I'm glad actually that they have a team, because it's going to make the tournaments better that they're in. And I always think that you should always get the best teams to play in the top tournaments. So it doesn't bother me one way. I do not think it makes much sense, and I don't think that part doesn't make any sense either for the league or for the players that are on those two teams to go play with somebody else in that league. That makes no sense to me.
Here's where I think it sucks. I think it sucks when a team like 45 Signature, Flash, let's just call it those three, maybe Hexx. When one of those 3 or 4 teams picks up a guy that replaces a starting position player on their team, let's, for example, if we're missing Nate on 45s and we call Julian Russell to come and play, I mean, people are going to be pissed off. And quite frankly, is that fair, for us to pick up another quality player like that when we're missing our best player, right? So, to me, I don't know. Like, those situations, I say that really sucks. But for a team like, I don't know, maybe a Future who's in Forest Park and they're short guys and they only got 8 guys and they pick up Julian Russell and maybe Timmy Kornikowski and maybe Chippy, and they go out there and compete against a major team, to me, that would be pretty cool because it makes the game maybe a little more competitive instead of them playing with 9 guys. So that's the two things I think about, because Forest Park, the tournament's always open roster. So that doesn't change anything for what they normally do. I think a lot of people overlook that every year. You could play with anybody you want in Forest Park. Just because Maddie's on Moneyline, you're on Impact, and I'm on 45s, that doesn't mean come that time of the year we have to coach, manage, play, or whatever on those teams. You can go play anyone you want. It's an open roster. So, like we talked about that on the show about 4 or 5 shows ago, the last person I remember that I think did that was Vince Stacy on our team. I think he was on, I want to say he was on Flash and played for Signature, or was on Signature and played for Flash. That's what it was. He was on Signature the whole year, came Forest Park, played for Flash. So, so I don't know. It's kind of, right? I think it depends on, honestly, who does it. That's what is it going to hurt it? I don't think it's right, but I think it depends on who does it. I really do. If Flash picks up Julian Russell and Chippy and they have 10 other guys there, people are going to be pissed off, right?
Well, it's probably going to ruin their own teams, but.
Well, if they got 10 guys and you could bat 12, everyone's playing, no one's going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
I think where people are going to get pissed is where you're going to see it is where we only have 9 guys, okay? And now instead of us playing with 9 guys, we could call one of the other better players, and there you go. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
I wouldn't be upset so much as with the team that picks a guy up. I'd be more upset about the guy that goes to play with the team. That doesn't make any sense to me. What is that person accomplishing by going to play with another team to compete against the same teams you're going to be competing against with your own team in these tournaments? That doesn't make any sense to me. So as a guy running a team, if one of those players went to play with somebody, I wouldn't be mad with the team that picked them up. I'd be more disappointed with that player going to play with the team more so than the team that's picking them up. That's just me personally.
I don't think it's going to happen, but it's it was posed at the meeting, and there was some concern from some other teams about it. I don't care who we play. We got to play regardless. So we're not worried about who's on the other side. So it's a great question. It's the second time now I've heard it. It's been brought up on the show in regards to just people mentioning it. First time it's been asked as a question. So thank you for that. But I do have a question that came in from the audience from our boy Matt Manizzi. He says, have Tommy give the best Stan Panic story. So Stan, obviously a big part of, the Impact team. He's the guy who built the team. Incredible dude. I had the pleasure of getting to know him even more outside the field with his office being in Western Springs, and I kind of covered that territory while I was at BMO. But go ahead, Tommy. Give us your best Stan story. I don't know if I have a best Stan story. I have a ton of Stan stories. I guess it would depend on what you thought was a good story. I know we used to play basketball on, I believe it was Saturday mornings, and Jimmy, you played, some other softball guys played, and I didn't understand that when Stan had the ball, you couldn't guard him. So there were a
Yeah.
couple times he had that vicious elbow, and he had the gout, so he had that like little ball, extra ball on his elbow,
Yeah.
and he you got a little too physical with him. That elbow went to your chin. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Stan was a great guy. I can remember us having a late night in the parking lot after a Mount Prospect game, and I don't know if one of his taillights was out, but he got pulled over like 2 blocks from his house, and he called me the next morning and said, I got a terrible story to tell you." I said, "What happened?" He goes, "I'm 60 something years old and I'm getting pulled over and they want to give me a field of sobriety test." I told him I lived 2 blocks away because we were out in the parking lot till 12:30 at night after one of our games. That was kind of funny. What else about Stan?
Well, you mentioned about how he used to wear the elbow pads and all the stuff that he wore in basketball, the knee braces, all that stuff.
Mhm.
He kind of looked like Gio when Gio played softball, right?
I like you. I'm not going there.
It's nothing bad. This is all fun, man. I'm just saying. People maybe that don't know Stan that well, but just want to paint a picture for them. That's all.
Yes,
Nothing like that.
Stan's a great dude. If you didn't get to know him, you missed out.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. All right, Tommy. Any more questions for us? Anything else
I
that
think that's it.
want to ask myself or Maddie about the show? Anything else?
No, I don't. I don't think I have anything else. I'm done for the night. It's been a long day.
I hear you, man. Well, you've been a great guest. I appreciate it. Good luck this year with Impact. I think you guys are going to be, there's that team every year that we always say that kind of sneaks up on people and just kind of takes that next step. I really do. I think you guys are going to be that team this year. So the best of luck this year, and we'll see you out on the field.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. So what do you think, Maddie, of our boy Tommy and the Impact squad?
As always, they'll come ready to play, and if you don't play your best game, they'll beat you. That's just how that team's been. No matter if they've been strong with their personnel or even in some years where they're retooling,
right?
They'll jump up and get you. So Tommy's a good organizer, good for the game of softball. So I wish them well, and looking forward to competing against those guys.
Yeah, I think they're going to be the surprise team this year that makes that leap. I really do. We always have that one team that kind of comes out of the gate hot a little bit. Hexx was that team last year that came out smoking hot early on. We've had some other teams in the past that have kind of made some early runs in the beginning of the year. I could see Impact being that team this year. I really do, making some runs, doing some things on Sundays. So, obviously, best of luck to them. But that leads me.
I have a different look, Jimmy, at the season. I know a lot of people are talking about, with a couple of teams not competing this year, the contraction of the major division. I think a lot of teams got better and got deeper, and I think that the major division is going to be super competitive this year. I really do.
Yep.
I think it's not going to be a huge upset for Impact to beat a Signature or 45s or a Flashback. It's not going to be a huge upset for Iron, to beat any of those teams.
Yeah.
So even the teams at the top, they've all gotten better and stronger too.
Yeah.
So from the top to the bottom, the Iowa teams are going to be strong. They always play well, and they're getting better and better and better playing without the glove. So don't be surprised if you see a team playing late on a Sunday, an Iowa team, or possibly even two, late on a Sunday at Forest Park or at North South, or one or two maybe coming to Westchester. Well, so I think it's going to be very competitive this year. I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be fresh, and I think it's going to be a really good year.
Yeah, this leads me to my question for you: is who do you have as your surprise team for 2026?
I don't know if there really is a surprise anymore. You know, we talked last year about how we all thought Iron was up and coming, you know, and, you know, with Mike Manzella joining their team, you know, brings another hitter. That was one kind of what they've been missing. They've been missing a guy to open up the field. And, you know,
Yeah.
he's becoming more of he's not, you know, he could still bomb the ball. Don't get me wrong. But that's not his only game now. You know, he could finesse it when he is rolling. He'll finesse 3 or 4 balls into left field. But
Yep.
he's also a guy you got to respect his power. And I think that, you know, his knowledge, he's not going to be afraid of being up in a big spot. I think he's going to really help that team. You know, I could see them even taking, you know, another extra step. I don't think there's going to be too many surprises. You know, Fat Kids got deeper. You know, I know I talked to Mike Mace. Dynasty has picked up a couple guys. You know, that's a team that's been under the radar the last few years. You know, they haven't accomplished what they had in the past. But I think that they played well at the end of last year. So I think that they could be a team. You know, you want to look at a team, there you go. Dynasty. Yeah, Whale, again, that's well documented. Whale's well documented. You know, they picked up, you know, our leadoff hitter, Lenny, who was just an on-base machine last year. He's definitely going to help that team. He brings a little fire. He brings a little attitude. Yep. So, you know, it brings some rah-rah. You know, you can't have enough of those guys. I think Wales.
You know, the BTAs, the high Ys, the Pharaohs, they're always going to be tough. I mean, I'm curious to see who they're going to have. Some new faces, from what I've been told as well. So, I'm sure they're going to get better.
I think Sherman Martin right now. You know, you'd be hard pressed if you're starting a team for him not to be, you know, a top 5 pick for a team right now. That kid is super talented. And he's just going to keep getting better and better. He's probably 23 years old, 24 years old. That kid, he's going to be a handful. Already is.
You got shoes older than him, don't you?
I got a lot of things older than him in my wardrobe. Yes. All right. Well, I'm excited about my team. I'm excited about my team. You know, we've got a lot of new faces, guys that I've played against for a number of years, and I respect. And I think they're gonna you know, gel well with the guys that we've got, and I can't wait to get out there to compete against them for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun year, as you said. Between the teams got better, they got deeper. You know, we lost 2 or 3 teams this year. You know, those meatball guys going to your team, that's going to make you guys better. You know, there's Whale picking up players, Fat Kids getting players, as you mentioned. You know, I'm not sure what Future picked up, but Future is a team I think that's going to take that next step too. So, yeah, we're going to have. I mean, the cool thing is, I think we're going to have 16 to 20 solid major teams this year, where I could say in years past it wasn't really that. So, I think any one of those 16 could beat anybody on any given day, which is, you know, obviously something that you really couldn't say 5 years ago. So
we're 5.5 months away from nationals. I implore Rismondo to come back, the Psychopaths to do what you can to come to major nationals. A couple of those other Yuma teams that you know about, maybe another great 12-inch team. Let's just make this year. Let's have everybody there. Let's have everybody there, and let's duke it out. Let's duke it out with 24.
I'm going to try to get more 12-inch teams. Los Lobos.
Let's do it.
Try to get them. Los Lobos.
The 24. The 24 most talented major team. Let's get them all on the field. Let's roll the ball out there and let's go one time. Let's make it happen. Make it happen, guys.
Rismondo told me they're coming to major nationals. I've talked to some of those guys about once every couple weeks, and they're telling me they're coming. So the rumor out there that they're not coming, I don't know where that started from. I talked to their pitcher, Travis. He says, we're coming back. So we have a blast doing it. We like it. So I mean,
classy guys and wearing their uniforms. I hope that teams have learned a little something, man. It just looks so great when a team comes in full uniform, takes the field, and everybody looks the same. I mean, that's the professionalism in an amateur sport that we need. I just think you look good, you feel good, you play good, everybody around you, you know, it kicks it up a notch. So I love the fact that they do that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you. You always got to look good, feel good. So that's been my motto for the longest time, as you know. And they'll definitely be back. I'm hoping we can grab another 12-inch team. You know, I'd like to get you know, maybe Illinois 57 or one of those other teams at the Resmondo level to come out and play. The Amish boys, I know that they talk a lot about those guys. So hopefully we'll see, you know, and I'll do my best. I'm on a text message with, I don't know, I think there's like 12 teams from 12-inch on that message, on that group chat. So hopefully it'll be, we'll see. I mean, I put it out there all the time. They did pick a field. I heard is it going to be Crystal Lake?
No, we're leaning towards Carroll Stream. It's not official.
Okay.
But, you know, Carroll Stream, they upgraded the turf last year. It was great out there.
Yeah.
So I think they do a good job. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, we had so much fun at Joliet the last couple of years. It's just not available. You know, the person that spent all the money turfing the fields there, he reserved it. What are you going to do? Just wasn't available.
No, I completely get it. So, but Maddie, I appreciate you jumping in last minute, saving Cousin Donnie's ass as usual. You know, obviously Donnie tried to jump in halfway through. It wasn't happening. I cut him off. So, but Matt, I appreciate you joining the show. I really do appreciate you jumping on. And of course, you're always. Go ahead.
Maybe Donnie felt like he's gonna get Wally pipped off the show. You know Wally Pipp. You know what Wally Pipp is, right?
Yeah.
The guy that Lou Gehrig replaced.
Oh yeah. No, for sure.
Played 2,100 games in a row. Maybe Donnie was feeling a little. You know, maybe somebody got in his ear. He got a text. Hey, you know what? You better jump on. You better jump on.
Yeah, you better jump on because Maddie's stealing your show. Oh, hey, the Uncle
Jimmy and Grandpa Maddie show. You know, it's got a nice ring to it.
I love it. Well, I appreciate everyone watching the Uncle Jimmy and Grandpa Maddie show tonight, sponsored by the Beacon Tap, Signature Transportation Group, and Cut Shot. So, guys, thank you so much. Maddie, I appreciate it. You're always welcome to hop on anytime you want. You know that. I tell you that all the time. But thank you for joining. I really do. I do appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Jimmy. You take care, bud.
I'll see you.